Ever since I was a small kid, I've always been fascinated with entrepreneurship, business, leadership, and everything that comes with it. I dreamt of one day starting my own business and eventually becoming an inspiring leader who could help people maximize their potential and contribute something great to the world. But of course, I didn't always believe that I really could do it. A combination of life events, including people who discouraged me from pursuing my goals, led me to develop a lot of insecurities, including imposter syndrome. I was taught that standing out and sharing my accomplishments was a bad thing and that it would make other people feel bad and feel insecure. And I didn't want to be that guy. So I was also taught that a stable job with a good income was the way to success and that I shouldn't waste time with something risky and unpredictable. So when it came time to decide on my post-secondary studies, I chose something safe. I found something that suited my skill sets and I went straight to college. But 2 months before graduation, it became frighteningly clear that I was studying something that I didn't want to dedicate my life to, and I knew I had to make a change, even if I didn't quite know what kind of change I needed. So what did I do? I quit college and I got myself a sales job. I spent several years in sales selling every format you can imagine, door to door, in store, over the phone, online. And at times I was a top performing salesperson with 3 times more sales than anyone else. And at times, I was one of the worst. And what was the difference? It was the leadership, the sales training, the ethics. There were times that I would stop selling out of protest because I was so frustrated with what I saw and the way things were done. I started seeing the ugly, manipulative side of sales. And I started seeing how bad leadership could completely discourage you by ignoring your individual skills and your talents in favor of scripted sales pitches or simply telling you that, oh, you should learn from that guy because he's the top performer. People weren't seen or motivated based on their individual personalities, based on their goals and their talents. They were just seen as potential numbers without any personal value. Luckily, I was able to climb the ranks and reach those leadership positions myself. And for a while, I was recruiting and training both salespeople and HR. And I was able to promote a much more wholesome approach to sales and business, but the fatigue and frustration had already set in. I knew in my heart that I still wanted to start my own business, but the biggest challenge was that I didn't want to sell. I didn't want to manipulate anyone into spending their own money, especially not on me. Not after I had lost so much confidence over the years. And I no longer recognized my own value. So I started a business, but each time I started seeing any level of success, I started sabotaging myself. I would destroy any success I built in order to rebuild it from scratch. I justified it to myself by saying that I was improving this, optimizing that, but in reality, I was afraid of success because I thought I couldn't sustain it. It took years of going back and forth with a business I was too afraid to launch before I developed what is now known as Develop Your Element, to the point where this sense of responsibility I felt to share it was bigger than my own insecurities. Originally, the tools of Develop Your Element were built for my previous business as something internal. It was a collection of discoveries made while researching how to improve productivity, how to improve communication, and how to solve many conflicts in my previous business. And not only did it improve productivity and communication, it completely changed our lives. I realized that when you're passionate about something, you have extra energy and flexibility to be able to face and overcome those insecurities, step out of your comfort zone, and grow in moments that are uncomfortable. And I realized that just as I had always believed as a kid, that there is a way of doing business and entrepreneurship that doesn't take advantage of people or treat them like disposable moneymakers. There's a way to inspire people to bring out and develop their strengths as well as challenge their pitfalls and insecurities, but in a way that makes them excited to do what they do. And there's a way of doing business and sales that provide solutions and positive experiences to the client. There are ways of doing business where it's win-win. No zero-sum games, no destroying the competition, no talking bad about others, no using people, no manipulating people. You can take a wholesome approach to sales because at the end of the day, sales is about providing value and solving problems. And sadly, a lot of people have forgotten about that. And here at Develop Your Element, that's what we do. We try to take a wholesome approach that respects every key player in any transaction. That means the client, the salesperson, the suppliers, the collaborators, everyone should win. That's business done right. And that's what I want to do here at Develop Beyond.